Welcome back, guys. Before we begin, make sure you check out the link in the description of this video. There's a link to the best price possible to get this game, and make sure you subscribe. By doing both those things, you're going to help me out a lot. Now, this game is kind of like Risk mixed with Lord of the Rings, mixed with like Citadels or something. Now, this game adds a lot to, for example, it's kind of like I said, it's kind of similar to Risk in that you're taking over territories, and it's kind of, the gameplay is kind of similar. Every round that you take over another territory, you're going to get more guys. You're going to have to reinforce better. You're going to be able to do some of those things. Okay, every territory that you're in, some of them benefit you, some of them benefit other players. So each race, so for example, these guys are ratmen. Then you have these skeleton guys, and then you have these elves. There's a bunch of other races, guys. I believe there's like 12 races in this game. There's ogres, there's trolls, there's halflings, there's these ghost characters that are really cool. The thing that's cool about this game is each one of those things has a different ability. So, for example, the elves, I believe, benefit from being in the forest. They might get an extra reinforcement for having a forest, or the more forests they have, the more elves they're gonna, the more reinforcements they're gonna get. So this game gets it's on the ease of play ranking, I would say this game is about a 4, only because it does take some knowledge of each character to play well, So you need to kind of know what you're doing. If you're playing these characters, for example, you need to know which zones are going to benefit them better playing in those zones. How many more gold pieces they're going to get, or how many more points they're going to get from being in different zones, how many more reinforcements they're going to get. There's some characters that actually kind of when they're dead they still count. Other characters, when they're dead, they get wiped from the board. So it's basically Risk on steroids with like a Lord of the Rings fantasy type theme added to it. So I really like this game. It is one of my favorite games. It's probably my second or third favorite game that I do play, behind Citadels and maybe a couple of these other ones. But I love this game. It is one of those games where you kind of need a serious group to play. You can't just bust it out and play in 5 minutes. You have to read the instructions to everyone, explain it very well, and make sure that they know how to play. Okay, guys? This game has a bunch of different expansions. I don't see the advertisements on here on the board, but there is several different expansions. I have not played them. This game by itself is great by itself. The expansion packs, I bet, would make it a little bit more complicated, but I bet they're going to be awesome as well. I'll put a link in the description to the expansion packs as well. That way you can find those. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys check out the link for the best price possible. You're going to help me a lot by doing both of those, guys. And again, this game is about getting points, but you get points by dominating the world and taking over different areas. Okay, so every round you're going to get points, but every round you're also going to be able to conquer other territories. You're going to be taking points for where you're at, and you're going to be fighting other players. So it is one of those games where it is kind of confrontational. It isn't going to be like the most peaceful game, but it's just like Risk, except for I like it a lot better because there's different variations. Even if you're losing, some of these characters have abilities that can counteract fighting a larger opponent on the board, whereas in Risk, you're kind of equally manned, and if someone has more players than you or people, most of the time you're going to get squashed. In this case, you can kind of get out of some ruts with some of the abilities that some of these characters have. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then again, make sure you subscribe, check out that link. Thanks a lot, guys.